Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vibrantly Healthy Mom Show. Is it time to rewrite your story? Today, we are going to talk about how you can discover the significance that your story plays in your everyday life and your successes. My name is Laura Bostrom, and if you've not joined me here before, I am here every week at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time, and I'm just here to share different tips and things with you to help you to live a more vibrantly healthy life as a mom. And I would love to know that you have stopped by here today. So comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from. Or you can simply give me a thumbs up or a heart just to let me know that you have stopped by. And even if you're listening to the replay, please do this. I'd love to just know that you came later and listened at a later time. And all of the weekly shows are here recorded, and you can go back and listen to them anytime that you would like to. So let's dive into today's subject, all about rewriting your story, because here's the thing. Our stories, first of all, are so important. The stories that our lives are made up of have such a significant importance in our lives. For example, I think back about when I was really struggling with a lot of chronic health issues that I had no idea what was wrong with me. And when I first started feeling sick and tired and couldn't take care of my kids like I wanted to, I could have just developed that whole victim mindset and just gone on and just had chapter after chapter being written in my story of my life of just staying there in that place, stuck in that place of not feeling well. But that's not what I wanted. I had wanted to have more children than the two that we already had, and I wanted to be able to fully enjoy them and take care of them and live my life to the fullest. So I knew I had to do something. So I decided that I needed to buckle down and do something about changing the way that my story was beginning to be written. And so, there were bad things in that story. I didn't like the fact that my life had changed, and I was spending a good share of my time on the couch simply watching my boys play and struggling to keep my eyes open in doing so. That was the bad part, and I didn't want to have that keep on going. But the good thing about that story that seemed to be bad at the time, which it was not a good thing. But the good thing is that catapulted me forward to change my story. And therefore, because I was needing to change my story, I had to start doing some new things that actually I continue to do to this day. They were good things that I learned because I needed to do something to change what was happening in my life. And so you may be in a situation where you have a not so good story taking place. Your life is maybe not going quite how you had hoped to either. But the thing is that you can take what seems like a negative thing and you can turn it around and have it be used for a very positive thing. And today, I can look back on what happened in my life back then, and I am very thankful for it, because if it wasn't for that, there are so many things that I would never have learned. And I wouldn't probably even be here talking to you today. It's what has given me a real purpose, I feel like, in my life today, now that my boys are grown. I have a huge desire to help other moms be able to live their lives in a vibrantly healthy way. And I would never have learned all the things that I could share with you, and I would not necessarily even have that desire in my heart. So to me, it's like my God-given purpose that I have in my life at this point. And it's because of that story that I began to live out so many years ago. And then I had that desire in my heart to have that rewritten. So what is your current story? What is going on in your life? Does it need a change? Are you needing some change there? Well, let's talk about that for just a moment. And we're going to do that by thinking about a TV. You might think, what? Why are we talking about a TV? Well, think about when you sit down to watch something on TV. Do you choose what you're going to watch, or do you just have to sit down and just turn it on and whatever's there is where you're stuck? Let's say you're somebody who's not into sports, but you turn on the TV and it's football. And the next day it's basketball. And then it's football again. And it's just constantly sports. Do you just sit there and just keep turning it on and that's just what you have to watch and say, darn it, I wish I could watch like a baking show, or I wish I could watch a Hallmark movie. But nope, you just keep turning it on and you have to just keep on watching that football game. No, that's not how it works at all. What do? We go and we switch the channel to something different. We switch it to something that we like. We choose what it is that we are going to watch. That is our choice. So the same holds true in our life. So we can choose how it is we're going to feel about something. We can choose what our story is going to be like. So for example, you might really, just like that Hallmark movie that you really want to watch and there's just sports on, let's say you're really desiring to have joy and happiness in your life, but that's not what it is that you're watching. That's not what it is you're seeing in your life. That's not what's happening. Instead, you're seeing a lot of worry and fear in your life, but you would rather be able to experience that joy and happiness. There's something in neuroscience that is called reticular activating system. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but let me just share with you what it is about. It's a pretty profound thing. So I'm just going to call it the RAS because otherwise I'm probably going to trip up on my words as I say reticular activating system. But the RAS, basically what it does, and if you don't know much about neuroscience, we're talking about things that have to do with the brain and the nervous system. So when it comes to the RAS, what it does is it filters things out. And here's why it filters things out. If you just, for a moment, take a look at where you're sitting right now. I'm looking at where I'm at. I'm seeing the things around me. Think about all of the things that are calling for your attention. And this isn't just the things that we see, but if we just look for a moment at just the things that we see. So take a look around you. I'm doing the same thing. I mean, I see a lamp. I see another lamp. I see a computer monitor. I see my laptop. I see a chip clip. I see a bean bag. I see a yoga mat. I see tons of things. I see my phone. I see essential oils. I see my mouse. For my computer, a glass of water. I mean, that's just some of the things I see. And I'm sure you're experiencing the same thing as you're looking around you. So what is that using? That's using our sense of sight. Well, what about our sense of hearing? Well, for me, I hear my essential oil diffuser going. I have trouble when I'm on camera pointing which direction it is. It's over here. My essential oil diffuser. I hear that going behind me. I hear my computer fan running. You might be hearing things like birds singing outside or children, playing in the house. I mean, there's so many different things that call our attention with just our sense of hearing. And then there's our sense of smell. Again, I have my essential oils going. I smell those oils. You might smell something like food cooking in your house, or you might smell, if you're a mom, a dirty diaper that needs to be changed. There's all kinds of things that can draw our attention just with our sense of smell. And then there's our taste. Maybe you're tasting that food that you're eating right now or that beverage you're drinking. Or maybe you're feeling like, oh gosh, I need to brush my teeth. I taste something that doesn't taste good. And then there's our sense of touch. I mean, it's even just like me feeling this chair beneath me or the shirt on my skin. Well, I don't focus typically on the shirt sitting on my skin, but it's there. It's something that's coming into my brain that I have the choice of whether or not I'm going to focus on that. So when you think about all of our senses and all of those things coming at us, our brain can't handle all those things at the same time. It has to filter out just the things that we should be focusing on that are relevant to our brain. Okay? So, and we train our brains with this. So I can't tell you the number of things that there are that are coming in every second into our brain, and really the number that's such a minuscule amount, the fraction of that, of what our brains can actually handle at one time. And that is what the reticular activating system is responsible for. It's responsible for filtering out those things that we just can't handle in our brain, because we can only handle the things that we're really willing to focus on. Notice what I said there is the things that we're willing to focus on, the things that we are choosing to focus on. That is our choice, what we're going to focus on. So, and like I said, we tend to set our RAS to the things that we choose to focus on. So if you're finding that you have a lot of fear and worry in your life, chances are it's because you're choosing things that are those types of things. Now, On the other hand, if you're wanting to have more joy and happiness in your life, then you can make a choice to focus on things that are going to be give you more of those feelings. And granted, there are things that come along that we have no choice. There are things that come along, like you may get a call that somebody in your family's been in an accident. Well, that's devastating. And that is not a joyful, happy thing. And that is something that requires your attention. Absolutely, 100% for sure. But I'm talking about the majority of our life. The majority of the times that we do have a choice of what it is that we're going to be focused on. And, think about when you get up first thing in the morning and what is it you focus on. If you grab your phone and the first thing you're doing is looking at news and social media and things like that, there's going to be things there that are going to end up dragging you down and make you feel certain ways that aren't necessarily the ways that you're wanting to feel. So this is what I mean. We need to help this RAS in our brain to help it to work in a way where we are indicating to it what it is that we want it when the things get filtered through. Think about like a sieve or a strainer, and you think about the holes that allow some things to go through and the other things to be held back. We want to help direct that RAS to hang on to the things, to keep the things in that strainer, so to speak, that we want to have be a part of our person, part of our story, part of what is being written in our mind constantly. So if we train it to be focused on the things that are, like going back to that example of wanting to have more joy and happiness in your life, and really focusing in on those kinds of things, that is what is going to help to train the RAS within us to filter out the other things and make room for those things, because it's going to be an indication that's what we want more of. So what I would encourage you to do right now, if you're feeling like, oh, wow, I've really blown it here. I just really focus on all the wrong things all the time. I'm training it in the wrong way. That's okay. But the important thing is that you, first of all, admit where you're at. You admit what you're doing and know that it's okay. Okay, everybody learns at some point and everybody makes a shift at some point, hopefully. But show yourself some grace. Realize that none of us are perfect. And even once we realize these things and once we work to change in this area of our life, we're still going to screw up. We're going to still have those times where we just really aren't doing and focusing on what we desire to. And that's okay. So I encourage you to show yourself grace here. So as you're, once you admit where you're at and you just recognize that it's okay and you show yourself that grace, then I encourage you, as you think about the things in your life, the memories that are there that can influence us constantly, trying to pull us back into the mindset focus in the wrong direction. Any bad memories that are there, just really work to dim them. Just think about just like turning the light down on them, making them be something that comes, goes out of focus, and just really draw those into a place in your mind where you can just hardly not even see them anymore. And that's one thing I love about essential oils. I wasn't even going to mention this, but essential oils have such a profound ability to work on the memories within our brain. They can access that emotional portion of our brain and can really help to change the memories that are there and help in this process of helping to dim those bad memories. So just a little side note there. If you want to learn more about that, let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. But then really those good memories, the ones that are going to help to push you in the direction that you want to go with your focus, think about those as being something that you're like putting a spotlight on, and that just have, vibrant and vivid colors, just so that they are going to be the things that come forefront to your mind. So you're going to want to really be working on focusing on what you want more of in life. So first thing when you get up in the morning, instead of going to those things that are drawing your focus in the wrong direction, find things that are going to actually help you to have your focus be in the direction that you're desiring to go. And with all of this, you can indeed write a new and a revised story, just like I did many years ago when I decided, nope, I am not going to accept that this is where I am at with my health and this is just where I'm going to have to stay. No, I decided I am going to rewrite this. I am going to do a new version of this. I am going to learn what I can learn and focus on the things I need to focus on so that I can make a change, so that I can feel well again. So I encourage you to do the same. So a great way to do this is when you get up in the morning, first thing, set an intention at the very beginning of the day as to what you want your focus to be on. Because whatever you set your intention with, and you might be thinking, well, I haven't even been doing this. Well, guess what? Even without setting an intention intentionally, you're doing that with however you're beginning your day. So again, if you're flipping on the news or getting on social media and comparing yourself to other moms out there and what they're doing and what you're not doing, your intention is being set with that. You are starting the get-go of the day out by dragging yourself down and making yourself feel like you're a failure, or making yourself feel like there's things are hopeless in this world and things are just going to keep on getting worse. Well, yeah, the facts are there of what things are, but we can set our intention for what we're going to be thinking about in our minds, because if we get dragged down by the wrong things, our focus is going to be so way off. Something, if you, like I said, you may not have ever heard of this reticular activating system before, but I am sure that you're going to know what I'm talking about when I share this with you. And this is exactly the RAS at work. So, perfect example of this. There was a while back here where I had determined in my mind I wanted to get a white Jeep Wrangler Sahara. I probably said that all wrong, but I know all the things that are written on this Jeep that I wanted, with a black top, a soft top on it, and a nice white hard top. And that was just my dream. That's what I wanted. And when I decided that, it was crazy. Everywhere I went, I saw this Jeep. It was just like, why is everybody else getting them now? And I don't have one. And the fact is that it wasn't that there were any more of them around. It's just I was focused on that. That is what I had in my mind that I had wanted. And so I was now, because that was what my focus was on, that is because I was training my RAS to be focused on that. When I had that little, I keep on forgetting what it's called, the sieve, the strainer. When I was taking the things in my mind and putting them through the strainer, that white Jeep stayed in the strainer. That was there as something that I was focused on. And so because of that, anytime I saw one, my mind immediately went to that. Again, remember all the things that are in front of us. There's going to be some of these things, most of them that are in front of me. I'm really not focusing on any of them. All I am focusing on right now is that green dot on my computer, because I know you are on the other side of that green dot. That is what my mind is completely focused on right now. And all these other things, they're nothing. And so that Jeep was one of those things that was in my mind that I had trained the RAS to, when it filtered the unwanted, the unnecessary, the irrelevant things to my brain out, that stayed in there because that was relevant to me at the time. So I encourage you to take a look at what it is that you're desiring in your life, what you want your story to be like, what you want to be feeling, what you want your life to play out like. And if there's some health changes that you are trying to make, then think about what you will feel like if you accomplish that. Think about what it will feel like to do the things to get there. Think about all of that stuff that goes along with that, of what you are going to need to focus on in order for that story to be written in the way that you intend it to be. And then set your RAS on more, on what it is that you want more of. Use that to your advantage to help your story be rewritten into the way that you are desiring. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's not been too confusing, but really when you stop and think about it, it's a rather amazing thing. And we can work with this RAS to really change our lives, because it plays such a significant role in our everyday life and really in our successes and being able to reach those. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here, same time, same place next week. Bye, everyone.